I need to turn a page. So sorry. Let me try it again. Let's try it again. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, do you know where you are? Sorry, Ken. I forgot to turn the page. Right here. This is the last one. Okay.
Okay.
This is the last one. So start here, and I'll turn the page this time. I'll turn the page. Okay. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Is that we get surprises. And this morning when I came in, I was surprised to see Gene and his daughter, Kathy Young, here. And she told me that she was a violist and they were working on something. And I said, well, why don't you play it for us? So I'm so thrilled that she came all the way from Hawaii to be here to visit her dad and mom, and so grateful to the both of you. What was the name of the piece you were playing?
Sonata in G major by Marcello.
Sonata in G major by Marcello. So we've got an extra special treat to start with. So thank you again so much. And now we're going to start the official prelude, which is based on a hymn. So if you want to turn in your teal hymnal, someone already sent me a couple of hymns via email. And it's Cliff Gay, and he requested this hymn, number 1048. It's based on a song that's done in Taizé, France, at an intentional community of an ecumenical gathering. People from all over the world come, and the music that we're going to be playing, Ubikatitas, by Jacques Bertier. He wrote many of these songs to be inclusive of many different languages and cultures, and purposely left them very, very short. So it's a very short chant-like thing. So we're going to play it, we're going to improvise on it a bit, and then maybe we'll sing it. So, Ubikatitas et amor, Ubikatitas Deus ibi est. Where charity and love are, there God is also. try it with harmony.
Ubicatitas et amor. Ubicatitas Deus ibies.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Christine Hauser, member of the UUCA Board of Trustees. Welcome to all. UUCA welcomes everyone, no matter their race, age, faith, gender identity, sexual orientation, political affiliation, disability or ability, seen or unseen, or economic status. And if you are with us online or in the sanctuary, thank you. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. I, like most of us, have commemorated this day without fully knowing its history, so I decided to investigate. Originally called Decoration Day, it was created to honor those who died in the Civil War, when survivors left flowers on the graves of the deceased. After World War I, the day evolved to honor service members who died in all wars. Now let's pause for a moment to reflect on those who have died in gun violence, particularly the children and families of Uvalde, Texas. Next Sunday, June 5th at noon, is UUCA's annual meeting. The ministers and the board invite you to attend and to enjoy a lunch for purchase before the meeting, prepared by the residents of Buckingham. It's cash only, so don't forget your money. Food will be served in the center, and tables will be set up on the patio if you prefer to eat outside. The gathering will include a book bus for people to peruse and purchase children's books. That's an RE offering and I think a fundraiser for the nonprofit. Thank you.
We hope this flame sends a bit of light into the darkness enveloping so much of our world. First, we continue to offer love and compassion to those living each day with the brutality of war in Ukraine and other countries around the world. Second, we lift up the victims of gun violence in our United States. We lift every individual living with and carrying this unthinkable grief and heartache. Our hearts go out to all those who are affected by these crimes. Third, we send strength and courage to all the first responders and mental health professionals on the front lines of this work. And lastly, this morning, we send encouragement and care to our legislators and public officials as they strive to pass meaningful and common sense legislation to stem the tide of violence. May the brutality and bloodshed causing so much pain in our world come to an end. Amen and blessed be. And as the candle is lit, I invite you on this Memorial Day weekend to lift up aloud or in your heart the names of those you have loved who gave their lives in service to our country. Today we remember you in love. Amen.
We like
This chalice.
as a symbol of light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world.
It's good that Amy lit her own candle. Obviously, I can't be trusted with one. Our service today is a bit different, and I think we're going to have some fun. In fact, I know we are. I can already tell we've got some great singers here. One of the endless, wonderful elements about music is that it is not only personal and intimate, but it can express places in us that have no words, and it also creates community and universality together in song. In music ministry work, I have found that intention is vital in bringing music to its deepest meaning, to the creator, the performer, and the listener. The intention for today's service is for us to experience the many ways that music can move us, inspire us, and transform or change us, hopefully for the better. We will hear reflections from folks describing how important music is in their lives, especially post-pandemic. And I'd like to thank Sarah and Katie, Peter and Amy, Karen and Topher for their reflections. Also, many thanks to Cindy for being our song leader this morning, and to the Free Spirits cohorts, Fred and Topher, whose creativity always amazes me. And we've got an extra treat because Peter Overby is also going to be playing the drums today. Plus, we're having a hymn sing. It's okay to be looking through the hymnals to find your favorites. And as you make a choice, be mindful of what intention that song brings with it for you and what it might convey to others. Speaking of which, we need an opening hymn. Anyone? This is your turn. Morning is broken. Okay, do we have a number? Okay, let's do it.
The gray hymnal? Okay. Okay, enjoy singing together. Morning has broken, number 38 in the gray hymnal.
Praise
Okay, now it's time for something a little different with our children, our younger members of the congregation. So I invite you to come forward. I'm going to grab my mask. Hang on a second. Come on forward and sit in the front seat if you don't mind. Yeah, you can. That's fine. You can sit on the steps. I have an important. Come on up, friends. And if you want to bring your parent along, that's fine too. All right. So I want to introduce my friend Fred Katz, and he's going to tell us a little something. We're going to come down here.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're going to show us here, Fred.
So you probably have seen me and heard me playing drums. I just want to basically share what I love about playing drums with you guys, and you guys too, which is that, first of all, when you're playing a drum or noisemaker, there's no wrong notes, so that's always good. Secondly, or maybe even firstly, it's an opportunity to share what I'm feeling inside with everybody around me.
Hello there. I'm Siri. What can I do for you?
Oh. Wow.
That's actually part of the wisdom lesson, so just think about that. And what we're feeling inside can be a lot of different things. It can be, happiness, it can be confusion, it can be sadness. But when we're playing drums or when we're playing music, we get to share that, and that always makes me feel better. So we're going to do a little experiment here. You can call it a game. It's an experiment because I've never done this before. But you guys may have not done this before either, so we're all in this together. So I guess the last thing I want to say is that when I say playing drums, those are drums. That thing over there standing up was a drum, but I shouldn't hit the microphone, it's bad. But our bodies are drums. We call that body percussion. So we're going to use our bodies to play some drums. And Sophia's going to help me by leading us through this.
Great. Well, I know it's not raining today, but it did rain a couple days ago, didn't it? Well, with our bodies, we're going to create a rainstorm, and all of our friends out here are going to help us as well. So let's start out. What are we going to use for the wind, Fred?
Well, I think maybe our hands?
Sure.
So,
all right, let's try it.
Yeah.
Show
So
us.
again, we're going to rubbing our hands together. You think it's just
Everybody
like
do
this.
it. Ooh.
Just quiet.
Sounds a little windy.
Use your ears. Good. This is very good. I like that.
So the rainstorm usually starts with a little bit of wind. And then we get some sprinkles. And if you can't click, that's okay.
Good. Very good.
So we get some sprinkles. And then the rain really starts to come down. Really, we get lots of rain. And then the thunder happens. You need to stand for this.
Yeah.
Thunder happens, and stomp your feet. Ooh, there's the thunder. Fantastic. Okay, have a seat. So now we're going to create a rainforest. The neat thing about music is sometimes we don't need to say anything, but just by me using my eyes and my hands, you can tell what's going to come next. Let's practice a little bit. So what if I did this? That's very good. You notice you stepped when I did that? That's great. Okay, so we need some helpers out here. You're going to be the windy section over here. So we're going to all start doing the wind. But when we move on to another section, you keep doing the wind, but we'll move on, okay? This is going to be the raindrop section. You're going to be the heavy rain coming in, and you're going to be the stompers, okay? And the children here are going to help us out by doing all of those. Whoa, okay. Are we ready to create a rainforest? Okay, so use your imagination. The clouds are forming. It's getting darker and darker. And we're gonna have a rainstorm. Ready? You just created a rainstorm and made some music. It was fantastic. It was really good. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. You did great. Give yourself a round of applause.
You may go to your classes, and we're going to sing that children's blessing song. And you know what? While I'm here, there's a couple of things that you're having a little trouble with that, so I thought maybe we could practice it. There's two spots where there's a rest, and I'm going to help you with that. When I have the rest, I'm going to go like this, and that means there's a rest, okay? So let's try it from the top. Topher's going to help me out. 1, 2, here we go. Peace to you on your way. May you grow in love each day, meeting new friends and opening your mind to the wonders of the world. Here comes fun. To the wonders of the world you will find. Oh, I've wanted to do that for a long time. Now you've got it. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sarah. This is Katie. And during the pandemic, we spent a lot of time together. And in some ways, that was really wonderful. And in some ways, it really wasn't. Spending a year and a half cooped up inside the same four walls is a test of any relationship, but I found the parent-child dynamic particularly challenging during the COVID siege. Because I wasn't just Katie's mom, I was also substituting as her teacher and recess monitor and physical education coach and sometimes even her doctor and dentist. The adults and kids that normally filled her day-to-day life were accessible only through a screen. So I ended up standing in as a three-dimensional version of all of them. And it was tiring. Tiring for me, and I think tiring for Katie too. A kid this age always gets a lot of do this, do that from parents, but during the pandemic, Katie got it from us 24/7. And she's reached the age where she can find her parents a little embarrassing at times. I promised her she wouldn't have to respond to that. So having me involved in every aspect of her life during the pandemic was a lot to deal with. So what does it mean to us to be back in UUCA in person, playing handbells again? Well, it means that Katie and I have our village back. My husband and I are no longer the sole adults in Katie's life. She has a whole tribe of them, adults that she shares a music stand with and laughs with and makes mistakes with and celebrates with when they master a new piece of music. And when I'm in the handbell choir, I'm not Katie's mom. I'm her partner. I'm her peer. We each have our own notes to play, and we each contribute equally to the musical whole. There aren't many places anywhere where parents and young kids get a chance to be equal partners like that. It's really an amazing gift. Katie, you want to add anything to that?
I usually don't like talking in front of people, but I don't mind playing handbells in front of people because I'm in a group.
And I do want to say, too, that after the pandemic, in which I had to serve in 16 different authority roles for Katie, it is a breath of fresh air and a huge relief for both of us to just have fun and play gorgeous music together.
Hi, it's been a long time since I talked into a microphone. Forgive me. Musically speaking, the pandemic has meant two things for me. I got to move my drums from the basement to the living room, which was great, but I didn't have anyone to play with except Mr. Spotify. So when Sophia asked me about the church band, it was a pretty easy sell. Unlike some other bands I've been in, nobody's stoned, nobody's drunk too much, and we're not throwing things at each other, which would, among other things, describe a reggae band I played in back in the 1980s in North Jersey. The band was called Natural Roots, and its beating heart was the bass player, guy who came from St. Vincent via London. When his bass got us rolling and the beat was dropping right, it was just an awesome experience to be in it. My story today is about the night Natural Roots played a bar in Paterson, New Jersey. I remember it was a long night, and I thought we sounded good. Then when we finished our fifth and last set, the bar's owner told our manager he decided not to pay us as much as he'd promised. He said we weren't that good. Our manager wasn't having it. This was all happening somewhere around 2 in the morning, so nobody was at their best. But if you want to picture it, the owner is this tall, broad-shouldered, muscular guy. Looks like a wide receiver in a snappy suit. Our manager, she's maybe 5'4", a gym rat with a muscle shirt, fatigue pants, and again, serious muscles. If I remember right, her name is Kathy. So Kathy isn't going to get ripped off. Sophia, you'll want to catch this. The owner leans in over Kathy, moving and flexing his muscles like he might actually hit her. He has a buddy who's gently starting to nudge him to back off. But Kathy reaches up, she grabs the owner by his elegant shirt and tie, pulls him down almost nose to nose with her, and starts shouting, "I'm not afraid to die! I'm not afraid to die!" The owner's buddy acts more decisively now. He pushes back harder on the owner, and he seems to be saying what ought to be obvious. You don't want to explain to anyone why you punched out a woman. And he elbow steers the owner away. So the rest is anticlimactic. We didn't get the money. And now, I don't think, Sophia, I don't think you'll ever need to punch anyone out on behalf of the all-church band. But it's a real pleasure to be part of it, and I look forward to more of it. Thank you.
Congregational singing and hymns have been important to me since I was very small. The church of my childhood had a huge pipe organ at the front, and every Sunday the organ would mix with the choir and the congregation, and the sanctuary would be filled with music. I loved to open the hymnal and find the first hymn before the service started. I'd stick my finger in there to mark the place so that I'd be ready to go once the song came. I liked sharing a hymnal with my dad as we sat in the same pew each week. I liked hearing everyone around me singing the same words and the same notes. It was a connection in a different way than hearing the sermon together, and it was special to me. Hymns also featured prominently in our home life. My mom and I would sit together at the piano and open one of the multiple hymnals we had at home. We would pick hymns to sing, and she would play along. She would tell me about the different songs that we had chosen. This was one of Mamie's favorites, she would say, or your Mima loved that hymn. It made me feel connected to those who had sung those songs before and all of the people who had yet to sing those hymns. I think that's one of the things that I find so magical about singing together as a congregation. On any given Sunday, we're singing songs that many UUs before us have sung. Sometimes they may be new to us, or in my case, the tune may be familiar, but the words are a little different than the ones I learned as a kid. But they're a way for us to pass along our traditions and values. I like to wonder sometimes if there might be another congregation in North Dakota or Georgia or Iowa singing that same hymn that morning. For me, it's a very tangible reminder of the interconnected web that is our faith. Before the pandemic, I was hesitant at UUCA to sing out like I did in my childhood congregation, maybe because others were singing quietly or not at all around me. I think it may take some people some time to get comfortable singing together again, but I'm looking to make up for lost time. So if you're looking for someone to share a hymnal with, or if you need a buddy to give you the courage to sing above a whisper, find me in a pew one Sunday. I'll have the first song marked and ready to go. This morning's prayer comes from Jennifer Healy. This is my wish, my hope, and my prayer. May we never take for granted our time here on earth and this time that we have together. May we spend more time with the people we love and less time worrying about what might never happen. For each of us, may we look at the past so that we may learn and grow ever into the person we hope to be. And as we look to the future, may we smile. May we keep possibility burning like a bonfire in our own hearts. May we have the courage to face hardship with grace. May we be quick to forgive and slow to hate. May we treat each other with kindness and remember that to be human is to make mistakes. May we have mercy on our own selves when we need it most. In every heartache, let there be wisdom. After every dark night, may we let the dawn into our hearts. No matter how bad things get, may we again have the sun on our faces. May we be better for it all, and may we better know the joy that runs through our veins. This is the joy of being alive. May we stop to see the beauty still left around us. May we see the beauty in others and the beauty in ourselves. For those we love who have gone before us, may we honor them by how we live our own lives. Let us remember them with a smile. We will keep them in our hearts, and through our love, bring them to life. May the love we send out into the world be the love that comes back to our front door. And wherever we go, may we find ourselves at home underneath the same sky as everything and everyone we've ever loved. Amen. Let it be so.
Sube en la mar hasta moldear. justicia de la vida. Arraigame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life a shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
I'd like to invite Karen to come on forward.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen Tripp, and I have been a member of this congregation, I want to say since 2002-ish, can't remember for sure. But I grew up in the UU Church, mostly in the Fairfax Church in Fairfax. And music has always been an important part of that journey for me. Hold on, I had some issues this morning with a printer, so I am attempting to read what I had to say on an iPhone screen, which is the first time I've done this, so bear with me a minute, I'm sorry. Music is, for me, one of the best, easiest, and most profound ways to connect. It is a form of touch, almost. It feels like I am connected to the others around me, even if we are not touching. Singing, in particular, is the most satisfying form of music making because I can feel it in my soul. Sometimes when I'm singing with others, I can imagine that there are strings, brightly colored strings, connecting us. And I'm getting emotional because this is why it was so important for me during the time we were all shut down. I went for a little over 12 months without touching another person. And because I don't live with anyone and I had to stay apart from people. And to be able to sing together was so important, and I am so grateful to Sophia for all that she did to enable us to try to sing together over a computer, which is not the same, but was better than nothing. I appreciate all kinds of music. I enjoy listening to music. I am in awe of those who write their own music. I enjoy going to concerts, and I appreciate music from a variety of genres. But to me, music is not, at its core, something to be listened to. There's a children's book, bear with me here, there's a connection. There's a children's book I remember fondly from childhood called A Hole is to Dig. It's by Ruth Krauss. She also wrote the Carrot Seed book you might be familiar with. But this one has pictures by Morris Sendak of Where the Wild Things Are fame. The subtitle of the book is A Book of First Definitions. And I was thinking about that book as I thought about what to say this morning, because just as that one defines in little kids' terms that a hole is to dig, to me, music is to make. It's not just to listen to. That's important, and as I said, I appreciate it. There's a wonderful place for appreciating glorious music created by others, but for me, music is the best way I know to express joy and to process sadness. I have always sung. Some of my earliest memories are singing in the car with my family. We only had an AM radio, so we sang. The songs my father knew best were Cal Fight songs. I can sing a whole bunch of Cal Fight songs. I can also sing folk songs. We sang together. Once I was in high school, I joined the UU choir, and for me, kind of as Katie, sorry, we're saying it was a way of connecting. The UUCF, or whatever they call themselves now, the Fairfax Church Choir, was the first place that I was a peer with actual grown-ups, right? And where I first learned that grown-ups are, goofy and ridiculous and don't listen to the teacher either. And that was a wonderful experience for me. Music has been a source of connection across many continents. I sang in the Mama-san chorus in the little village I lived in Japan. I sang with a high school chorus in Transylvania in Romania when I was working with Unitarians there. I've sung in small church choirs in 3 states, and it has always been music that brought me back to church when I've left for a while. Music that makes me feel most connected to others, and music that makes me aware of something I could call God. So I am glad we are all back together again singing. And I ask you from the bottom of my heart to echo what Amy said too, join in. If you can talk, you can sing. If you can't sing, clap. Join in. Singing is a community enterprise, and by singing together, we create joy. Thank you.
Music means the world to me. Just like you were saying. It's been so moving to hear similar reflections to what I am probably going to be saying if I manage to read this all. Music conveys mystery. I keep playing, practicing, studying, performing, and I can tell you a lot of things about rules that get made in music rules that get broken, rules that are across different traditions, but there's still a lot I can't tell you about how music makes people feel, and even all the various types of music. The conveyance of emotion is this uncertain thing. One of the better quotes in terms of me playing music that I've heard, percussionist Bill Bruford talks about things being never the same way once. And that's kind of the favorite kind of music I have to play, where, you don't exactly know how it's going to start. Not knowing what the ending is going to be is a lot of what gets me to start. Sounds, styles, instruments, things convey. There's just so many pieces of melody and rhythm that just entrance me. I've played a lot of musical theater in my life, and that that role of accompanist also is something I really appreciate, and that's where I really feel a niche, being able to support seeing things happening. As part of those experiences, Peter Brook, the dramatist, in his book, The Empty Space, says, "A musician is dealing with a fabric that is as near as man can get to an expression of the invisible." And his score notes that invisibility. You may have looked at dots on a page and wondered, I've done the same thing a lot of times too, just there is that mystery that's there. Documentation, notation, even as you're mentioning, listening to recordings is always second best to being there, to experiencing it, whether you're playing, whether you're in the audience. In that same book, Peter Brook also talks about regarding Shakespeare, quote, "Play what's written," end quote. My own experience, particularly in the last few years, and with the Free Spirits, is it's a conflict between play what's written and don't play what's written. Or even, there really isn't anything written, so I think just go ahead and see what happens. Those kind of intrigues are what keep me playing. There's great power of memory, just reminiscence that comes out of music. Watching video of Alzheimer's patients who hear songs of their youth and are immediately jolted back into awareness. Even the frustrations of kind of half hearing a melody or not remembering it, or being halfway through a song and having to kind of interpret your way through. The power of emotion that comes with music has lifted the bandstand. It's reached out to me like a thunderbolt. It's sort of brought me to the edge of tears. And those kind of things keep me playing. But as you had mentioned as well, that the reactions of people in real time, both co-conspirators on a bandstand, a live audience, that's the apex of a musical experience for me. Playing live on Zoom has its role, and I think it was important for me during the pandemic, but it's just not the same thing. To be back here with the spark of life, with people in a room, there's no substitute. There's a quote, "Play each gig like it's your last," so that you don't kind of phone it in. And I will definitely be playing each gig like it's my last for as long as I can. And thank you for these opportunities.
Thank you so much to all of our speakers. Weren't they wonderful? And now we're going to have him sing, so it's your turn. We probably won't get to all of your songs, and we probably will just sing one or two verses. So if you have a particular verse that you really want to hear, please note that. Also, we're just going to kind of take a raised hand for the hymn sing aspect, but if there are hymns that we did not get to that you'd like to have us play sometime or to sing in worship, please write it on that card that's in the pews. And jot a few favorites down, and we'll be sure to add them in upcoming worship services. Also, for those online, we're hoping that you can put in your favorites as well. And Topher's got his eyes on you, so we can see what folks online are choosing. So, what are we going to sing? Yes? Blue Boat Home. All right.
Okay.
Number?
It's in the teal hymnal.
1064. All right. We're going to do one verse of this. Is there a particular verse or any? Any. All right. 1064. Here we go. This is a favorite of this congregation, I have to say.
Got one over here.
Yes, we got one back there. Kip.
Let it be a day.
Let It Be a Dance. What's that number? I'm sorry, say it again? 311, thank you.
311 in the gray hymnal.
Okay, do we want to stand for this one? Sure, all right, let's sing a verse of that. Verse 1. Oh, and if you feel like dancing, please. Dance in the aisles.
I don't know this one, so be sure to play the intro.
All right. Let it be a dance with you. May I have this dance with you. Through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let it be a song we heard. Play the music, play the words. Let it fill the sky with silly birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat. Let it be a dance. Yeah, okay. We all had our challenges with that one. Phyllis, what do you got? What number is that? 347. Gather the
is in
Spirit.
the-
Why don't we sit for this one?
That's in the gray hymnal.
It's
Gather
in the
the
great
Spirit.
hymnal. Yeah, let's sing verse 1.
$347.
Okay, here we go.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. In this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
It's wonderful. We haven't done that for a while either. All right, yes. 21. What's that? Then we'll have somebody online.
Okay, that must be in the gray hymnal.
Gray hymnal, number 21. Oh, yes, of course. Is there a particular a verse that you'd like to sing? All right, number 1, let's do it.
For the beauty of the earth, for the splendor of the skies, for the love which from above, over and around the sides, source of all to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
Thank you. That's a lovely one, isn't it? Let's.
Yeah.
Do we have someone online that would like? No? All right. Okay.
There was someone over here in the gray shirt. Yeah.
Yes. 298.
298 in your gray hymnal.
Is there a particular verse you'd like to do? I'm sorry, say the number again. 298.
298.
Don't know my numbers yet. Don't know how to do a candle. Oh, that's right. I'm on mic. All right, let's sing verse 1. Oh, 303, okay, and then that's real close by.
And it's 11:10, so I don't know.
I know, we've got to we're just going to have to do this again, that's all. Okay, I don't know this, so we're all going to learn it together. Oh, Ein feste Burg. Okay, if you notice at the bottom of the page where it has the tune name, that's how I knew what it was. It's also a mighty fortress is our God. So let's sing "We Are Earth, Upright and Proud," verse 1. Unfortunately, we're going to have to stop. But does someone have a good suggestion for our postlude, a closing kind of hymn? Somebody have a closing hymn? Yes, in the orange. Yeah, that's you. Lean on me. Okay, so we'll do that for the postlude, and if you want to sing along, we can do that. So obviously, we have to do this again sometime. But please write down your choices. And thank you all for participating. This is really fun. We just need more time next time.
Lean on Me is 1021 in your teal hymnal.
And that'll be at the end. 1021.
The May Share the Plate offering goes to Alianza's accompaniment program, with the funds primarily supporting the international accompaniment program of the Network in Solidarity with the People of Guatemala, NISGUA. A small portion also supports our partnership with local immigrants in the nearby Buckingham community. Since 1981, NISGUA has provided accompaniment for organizations and individuals involved in key legal cases seeking justice and accountability for genocide and crimes against humanity. There are many ways to give. You can write a check to UUCA with "Share the Plate" in the memo and drop it in the offering plate, or mail it to the church. At uucava.org, you can click Donate at the top right of the page. Additional ways to give are listed in your order of service. Ushers, please come forward.
And this is your opportunity also to sing the songs of our military services. And so please join along if you'd like.
If you're currently serving in one of these branches, we've got all 5 branches of our military represented in these songs. Go ahead and stand up when we're singing your song so we can recognize you, or if you're a veteran.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our service members. Thank you.
Ushers, would you please come forward with the offering? The words for the blessing of the offering can be found in your order of service. We bless and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to true generosity. Let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure, for giving brings us joy. Let us be grateful for our needs and the experience of vulnerability, for they teach us how to receive in community and love. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation, for it is a blessing to make a difference together. Thank you.
Before I give the benediction, I just want to say my gratitude to Amy and all of our speakers and our musicians and all of you for really showing your hearts through the music. And I feel the love, and also much thanks to Jean and Kathy for offering that special music to start with. So I'm going to close this service with a poem, actually by Carrie Newcomer. And I felt love. We started with Ubikatitas, which is all about love, and this poem is called Send Love, It Matters. Somewhere, someone needs help. Send love. It matters. If you can't get there yourself, take a deep breath. Breathe in the weight of their troubles. Breathe out and send all those burdens into the light, where sorrows can be held with the most tender and infinite grace. Breathe in what you can do. Breathe out what you can't change. Spool out a thread of connection. Send courage and calm. For the nights can be long and filled with shadows, and sometimes terrible, unexpected waters will rise. Somewhere, someone needs help. Send love. It matters. May it be so. And please feel free to sing along with 1021, Lean on Me. And we might, you know, this is improvisation, so we might do things. Unexpected. It's okay, just go with it. It's in the moment. 1, 2, yeah. Join us.